What is up, everyone? Today is March 4th, 2026, and today I made $0 day trading NQ futures. Today I have experienced the most brutal break-even trade of my career, but this trade was super good, so I wanted to still make a recap about it. Normally, if I get break-even, I just don't make the recap. I only recap if I win or lose, but this trade hit full take profit. I should have been in, but I got broke even so bad. You'll see when I get into the trade. But before I do that, if you guys don't know, I'm the creator of Sys Trading. It's the simplest inversion style of trading in the entire space. If you want to learn how I trade and trade alongside me every single day, I'm live in the Discord every morning trading for you guys. So if you want to join that, there's a link in the description. Ton of free resources on my model. But that being said, let me get right into the recap. So the first thing I'm going to do here is put my daily bias on screen now. So you should be able to see that. So take a moment, pause the video, read over that. But this is what I was analyzing on the higher time frame coming into the morning. I had a very condition-based day. So starting to get charted up here, just some things that I was looking at was we were trading inside of this 4-hour fair value gap, and I wanted this to be my condition on the day. If we broke this, I thought these highs inside of the fair value gap, the 4-hour fair value gap, were a super obvious draw. I mean, you can clearly see 4-hour gap, high inside the gap, super obvious. Wanted to see that get taken if we were going to be bullish. Another thing we had was an unfilled 4-hour gap up here, another really good draw, some stacked up highs. I mean, you get the point. And then below us, we had a 4-hour gap. If we traded lower and broke this, I expected us to trade towards this low and towards this low. Now, obviously, I'm on a super high time frame, so let me just drop time frames down a little bit here. So where were we coming in the morning? We were at 8 a.m. Beautiful. So here's where we were at 8 a.m. coming into the morning. So manipulated lower, 7 a.m., 8 a.m. You can see we traded it into this hourly fair value gap below, respected, and we started seeing a bullish reaction to the upside. As you know, we were inside this 4-hour gap, so I'm like, okay, let's drop time frames a little bit more, figure out what could possibly be a condition to find a trade in the morning. So a couple things I noticed. Below us, we had two stacked up 15-minute fair value gaps right here. Super obvious gaps. These were my condition, as I'll call them, for the day, so I'll make these in red. If we broke these 15-minute fair value gaps, that would require me to change my bias to bearish because there's nothing else really holding up price, and I would expect us to start running this trend line. But if we traded back into this and held it, I would expect us to flip through that 4-hour like I thought to these highs inside the gap, which is just my first super obvious draw to the upside. Other than that, we didn't have anything to the upside. Like literally, I wanted to take a trade towards here. So that was my only draw to the upside, but I thought it was super obvious. And dropping time frames a bit more, 5-minute looks the same. But let me get us right up until just about market open. So here is 9:20 a.m. We'll get to 9:25. You can see pre-market manipulate lower into this 15-minute. I'm like, okay, I want to see a flip out of here to the upside. You guys know that. So market open candle, immediate pump. Obviously, we didn't go hit my draw, but we made an immediate pump. So I'm like, okay, thinking I'm going to be bullish because we came down where we respected this gap, got a big reaction. I want to take some sort of long. I didn't really want to be bearish anymore. So I'm going to clean up my chart here a little bit, get this off my screen. So after I saw that, I wanted us to sell back off and resweep this low. That was what I was really hoping for, just because this is too high for me to enter. So wanted to see us sell back off, and you'll see throughout the next few minutes here, we started making a move lower, traded inside this 1-minute gap. Didn't really get much. I mean, it's 9:40, still early into the session. I got a lot of time. And we end up trading lower, sweeping out this low, trading lower into this 15-minute gap. And another thing just to take note of here is EQ of the range had already been rebalanced pre-market, but we just traded a little bit below EQ. So we don't really need to trade much lower than this. All I'm looking for is a confirmation setup to get along. Now, a couple of you guys might be saying, there's a 1-minute inversion right here. You could take this. I could. And quite honestly, I had this position on my screen. I'm like, this could be a valid trade. We're inside the 15-minute, reswept it. Have this obvious draw to the upside. You could even take off some partials right here at the 9:30 wick or the 9:36 candle. So definitely a possible trade, but one problem I had with this was it was 14 minutes before high impact news. So we had high impact news coming out at 10 a.m. We had PMI news, and I was like, we might accumulate before the news comes out. So it was kind of sketchy, and we also had this other gap up here that we had to worry about. Of course, you'd be break even by then. Like you would have hit this high, hit this gap, went break even, got stopped out break even. So it was a possible trade. I didn't like it enough to take it, and you'll see we're getting close to the news time. We're 9 minutes away from news, and we just ended up trading higher. Trade almost through this gap. Nothing really crazy happens. And here is 10 a.m. news in 2 minutes. So let me get the data candle. And bang. Data candle pushed us higher towards this high. And I'm thinking this is bad because I thought we weren't going to be able to get along. I thought Loki, after this news dropped, we were going to push higher. But of course, as you guys know, data candle comes with data draws. So we took the high. Obviously, we don't have a data high, but we did leave behind this data low and devil's mark candle. So this was a strong low to look out for, this low of this no wick candle. And we also had this low right here inside of the 1 minute gap. So both of these obvious draws. If we got a little bit of a pullback, I was looking for a continuation along, and you will see in the next couple candles here, we get just that. So let me stop us here. We came back down, swept out this low. We also took the data low, traded inside this 1 minute gap, but respected it. And now we form a 1 minute gap to the upside. Some people wanted to short this gap. I understood why you might want to short this gap. We have a little bit of a mini trend line here. We might want to sell off. We haven't gotten a bullish move yet. I even got caught up in wanting to take this, but of course the short would have instantly got break even. Problem being, we really were bullish on the day, and I even got caught up, and I was almost got caught trying to short this because my daily bias was bullish coming into the morning, and I needed to stick to my guns with that. Obviously, you should be adaptable with your bias, but what I was forgetting was that we still were rejecting out of these 15-minute fair value gaps. We would be shorting into higher time frame fair value gaps, something you should never do, hence why I wanted to avoid that trade. That being said, took the data low. Also, if you pop over to ES, I noticed we had put in an internal SMT at this low. ES did not sweep this low, even though it took the data low, and NQ did sweep this low and took the data low. So we had an SMT right there. We're rejecting out of a 15-minute fair value gap. We have that obvious draw to the upside. We just formed a 1 minute fair value gap. Bullish daily bias. I'm looking to get into a long, so I'm telling myself if we inverse this 1 minute fair value gap, I'm taking a long. That was literally all I really needed to see to get along. So I want to take an inversion out of there, go break even at this high, run to that draw. So that was really all I needed to see, and you will see within, I think it was 2 candles. Yeah, 2 candles, immediate V-shaped recovery. Another positive thing to add to my setup. I entered long right here. Stop at the body closure of this candle, and literally I was not taking a partial off. You guys know from my daily bias and what I said earlier, there's nothing else that was stopping price from going to this high right here. So I wanted to get in a long. Tried to enter a long right here, which I did do, and I was going to go break even right here, like I said. And I'll let this play out a little bit so you can see what happened to me. Very obvious trade, very highly ranked, and I really liked it. I didn't have much problems with it. So then I think 1 or 2 candles. Yeah, 2 candles. Immediately, trade goes break even. I'm like, great, taking all risk off the table, moving my stop loss to break even. Why? Nothing else should really stop us over here to the left, or this high shouldn't stop us. I just want to see us cleanly flush to my draw. So trade higher. It's looking good, and we get this big wick down. Trades into what was a 2 minute fair value gap, which was respected, and price reacted off of it to the upside. It looked great. Next thing you know, trade higher, looks good. I'm up a lot of money. I'm in this on a mini, and we get this wick right here. My fill was ever so slightly above the inversion. No exaggeration. My fill was at 957.75. This was where I had entered the trade with my contract. This random candle's wicked me out of the trade, stopped me out at break even. So I'm like, whatever. We didn't flush right through that high. Probably just going to be a break even raid. No big deal, even though I really love the setup. Is this a fucking joke? Like, come on. This was absolutely brutal. I got break even to the tick, and it ran straight to my draw as I thought it would, and I thought it should. So there's just nothing I can do about it. So many people in the server took this long in 8, so great for them. God bless. But for me, that was the most brutal break even of my career. Like, I mean, I don't know how it gets worse than that, if I'm being totally honest. But other than that, there wasn't anything else I wanted to see on the day. That was my daily objective. That was my daily bias, and it just got ran, and unfortunately, I wasn't there with it. So nothing you can really do there, but like I said, if you want to learn how to trade like me and you're looking to figure out how these confluences add up into a whole out model, I have 2 PDFs. I have a model breakdown PDF, and I have a model IFVG ranking guide PDF, both of them in my Discord. If you want to join that, it's totally free. Get in there. I hope you learned something from these recaps. I hope these help, and that's really all I had for today. So $0 on the day, a little bit unfortunate, but it's all right. We're going to bounce back. I haven't been a fan of NQ price action, at least in New York AM, for probably the past 2 weeks, but I mean, I was on an absolute tear prior, so I can't really complain. I'm still up a lot from my absolute heater that I went on, and we'll bounce back. I know it'll clean up eventually, so I'm not worried about it. So hope to see you all in Discord, and have a great day, and I will catch you all later.